What's going on, guys? Ken and Blake here with Northwest School Sports. Welcome to Inside the Den, episode 3. With me is my co-host,
Garner Sober.
and today we'll be kind of giving a review of the fall sports season and giving a preview of the winter sports season. Looking back on football, volleyball, cross country, and then giving an outlook onto basketball, wrestling, girls basketball, and indoor track and field. We'll have some interviews today. We'll be interviewing Taylor Blackburn. We'll be interviewing Adler Little, interviewing Brett Garner, and um, Channing Waldie. And for wrestling, we'll be interviewing Dominick Haynes. So jumping straight into the action, we're here with Channing Waldie, plays women's basketball, cross country, and indoor track. So we'll jump straight into cross country, a review of the season. Channing, you made region in your first year doing cross country. What was that like going in and experiencing something new you haven't done before and being able to make region in your first year doing it?
Overall, it was pretty fun to do, and region was terrible because it was raining really bad. I hate running in the rain. So.
Yeah, going into indoor track, last year you had a pretty great season for outdoor track. So, do you think you'll be able to carry the momentum from outdoor to indoor track this year?
Yes, I think I can carry the momentum through, but it'll be more difficult because class 1 and class 2 are getting merged for girls.
So 1A and 2A are getting okay. Yikes. Connor?
So you made state in what 5 things last year in outdoor track.
Yeah.
How was the experience overall in outdoor track making state at James Madison?
It was great. I don't know. It was pretty hard to make state. I wasn't expecting to make it in 5 events, but I think it was pretty fun.
All right, jumping into women's basketball. This is the first year the Northwood Panthers have had a women's varsity team in, I believe, 2 years. The first year we've had a women's varsity and JV team in quite some time. Um, so, of course, women's basketball had the undefeated season, state championship, but ever since then, it's kind of been they've had some rough outings, not really, um, um, uh, not been able to keep up with the greatness that season was, not be able to match the expectations of that season. Channing, coming in this year, sophomore on varsity, underclassmen on varsity. Um, what was your expectations going into this year?
I would like the season to go pretty well. We had a scrimmage yesterday. It didn't go that well, but I'm thinking after we get more practice in and get back in shape, we should have a better season. And I think through the next years, after we get older and have more experience, it'll go well.
Yeah, so scrimmage yesterday. Today's Wednesday. We're filming this, so they scrimmaged Tuesday against Grayson County in Independence. Quite a long haul. We're just gonna quickly touch on that one because it's not not something we really want to relive. I'm sure, but just great being able to get experience, being able to have some more games under your belt before the game. JV ended up winning their scrimmage. Varsity did not, and Al Johnson cannot type. But they scrimmaged Thursday at home against, I believe, Twin Springs. Looking forward to that one. Connor, any thoughts on basketball?
This team, JV and varsity, a very young group, like the volleyball, like we said about them. Very young group, very athletic group. We have a lot of good eighth graders coming to play JV, and as this team goes on, they're going to get better and learn to play together. And when they're older, I feel like we should have a pretty good group out there.
Yeah, what do we have? Two seniors, three seniors? Not very many at all.
Too.
Two seniors, so a pretty young team. Not much experience, but
hmm
looking forward to seeing them improve as the years go on, and as this year goes on. Connor will be able to experience a lot longer than I am, but
Yeah,
I'm sure by the time Connor's a senior, they'll be pretty good. Um, well, thank you, Channing, for coming on. Connor, anything you want to say?
I ain't got much to talk about on this one.
Any last thoughts, Channing?
No, thank you. Go on.
Thank you for being here. That'll wrap up the cross country review and the indoor track and women's basketball preview. So going over football and we're here with Brett Garner. We'll just touch on last week's games against Honaker at Honaker in the Region 1D quarterfinals. We took a loss 56-19. Still the first time we made playoffs in over 10 years. A winning season, 7-3 on the regular season, 7-4 including the playoffs. Something that this team can hang their hats on and keep their heads held high going into the next season. Connor, your thoughts on this season?
It was a very good season, very good turnaround for the program, and we had some players that stood up big time and made plays, and that's ultimately how we got where we are. You know,
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of football, last week I stated that Chilhowie would win by a million. Um, and Chilhowie won, but that was a close game. It was 22-8, wasn't by a million. But me and Connor went perfect on
yeah, we
all our
did.
predictions. We all picked every game correct. So, um, that's hey, that's
Pretty
pretty
good
good right
picks.
there. Pretty good picks right there. If you want a parlay done, ask me and Connor. So, anyway, like I said, we're here with Brett Garner. Last 3 games of the season, he had 2 touchdowns, 120 yards, finished fourth on the team in tackles. A standout sophomore year for him. Um, Brett, what was your thoughts on not only this Honecker game but the past season in general?
I mean, it feels good being a part of the team that was a part of the playoffs since 2015. And we have players step up, but against Honecker, we just couldn't cover the pass, and that hurt us.
Yeah, kind of. Both times we played Honecker, that's kind of what killed us is the pass defense. Um, not much you can do there. You make the adjustments you can make, and that's about all you can do. Still 7 wins, doubling more than doubling the win total from last season. Um, you know, uh, I don't know when the last time Northwood won a district game was. I think it was Chilhowie, in 2022. So, we won pretty big games against George Street, whose record doesn't really show as good as a team as I think they are. And then Patrick Henry in a almost a classic, going down to the final minutes, pouring the rain, a 1 point victory. So like I said, you and this team have a lot to hang your hats on. Um, we'll give a little outlook on next year. Brett losing some key pieces. Of course, y'all played with John throughout most of the year, which is not your brother, one of my best friends, somebody that really played a big impact on this football team. I'm sure it hurt y'all, but he's not going to be back next year. Dalton isn't. Jackson Nutter, Ty Burnett, Quan, um, Andrew Call. Y'all are losing quite a bit of depth and starters even. Do you think you'll be able to replace that next year and keep this energy going forward?
We are losing some pretty good players, but I feel like we have some people that are going to step up next year and be able to fill those shoes.
Do you think any eighth graders coming up or upcoming freshmen will be able to impact and make an impact on the team?
It can happen.
Can't happen. Uh, I haven't really looked at the middle school team, so I don't know. But anyway, like I said, you're fourth on the team in tackles. Pretty big defensive presence. Did you? How many games did you start last year? Did you start any?
I started on last year. I started on defense, but I didn't play much offense last year.
This year, I'm moving to fullback. Pretty small fullback for in terms of this area's football. This area's football is kind of ground and pound, but not a very big fullback. Yeah, pretty good fullback. Got up the middle, like ran downhill. You didn't see Brett Garner running from side to side much. He was, between the tackles, between the guard and the center, pound on the ground, and um,
He put that head down, and run, man, like an
uh,
old fullback.
old school fullback right there, huh?
And halfway through the season, they moved me to DN, and that was rough.
Yeah. What were you playing before that? Linebacker or
Corner.
corner? But some changes were made. Had to adjust, adapt. Um, like I said 7-3. That's something to hang your hat on. That's something to uh, keep in your mind going to next season. But I have no more questions for you, Connor.
I ain't got any questions for you, Brett.
All right, Brett, you got anything else to say?
I do not. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, Brett.
You're welcome.
So moving on to volleyball, we have Taylor Blackburn, JV head coach, with us today. So we'll just be going over what happened this year, JV and varsity volleyball, give an outlook on next year. First, we'll give a shout out to the all district members we had. Emma Burris, first team all district, second team all region. Kiara Buskell, first team all district, all region honorable mention. Aubrey Kegley, second team all district. Chloe Salyer, Ellie Snodgrass, and Bailey Nutter, all Hogohigi honorable mention all district. Moving on to the JV season, just giving a review on that. The regular season, Hogohigi District champions, undefeated in Hogohigi District play, 10-0. Taylor, your first year as a head coach, what did you expect the success that you had this year?
I'd say so. I knew coming into it, we had a bunch of athletic girls. We were definitely a young team coming into it this year with 6 eighth graders, 3 freshmen, and then 2 sophomores. But they definitely did a great job throughout the season. Yeah.
Um, yeah, JV, like I said, went 10-0 in Hogohigi District play regular season. Ended up falling short to Chohawi in the JV championship, the JV district championship game. But like I said, like you said, young team. Not only 2 sophomores on JV teams. Pretty young, more eighth graders than any other grade on the team. So a lot to look forward to there. Moving on to varsity, uh, kind of an up and down rocky season. Didn't really have the success they've had in previous years. Uh, Varsity also a young team, kind of a sophomore led team. Um, One senior on the team this year. That was Kiera. So, only losing one person, a young team. I kind of got it together there at the end of the season. Ended up losing to Holston in the consolation game of the Hogohigi District tournament. Ended up, I think they were down 2-0 in that one. Ended up taking it to 5. Just wasn't enough to complete the comeback. Taylor, what did you see being on the sideline for the varsity games as well?
Really just having that one senior in Kiera taking on the leadership role. She done a great job. We struggled definitely a little bit throughout the season, but towards the end, really picked it up and came together as a team. Even though we did fall short, just being such a young team, they're gonna do great in the years to come.
Yeah. Connor, you got any questions for Taylor?
I do not.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Taylor, and that'll wrap up volleyball. Oh wait, whoa, no, it won't. Time out. I said it wrong. Moving on, we're kind of give a preview of the of next year's volleyball season, JV and varsity. So we'll start with JV since you're the JV head coach, Taylor. Going into your second year being a coach, like I said, what 8 or 6 eighth graders, 3 freshmen, unless they pull any freshman or sophomore up next year. Excuse me. You'll only be losing 2 players. I'm sure you'll be gaining some eighth graders as well. So with the change of roster, if there's much change at all, how will you adapt to that and work with what you have next year to hopefully repeat the success you had this year?
All around, the players that will be on JV or move up to varsity, all around, it'll be great players all the way around. We have a bunch of eighth graders that's going to move up, adding on to the ones that moved up this year. Very athletic, good group of girls. So I have no doubt that they will be just as successful next year as they were this year.
Yeah. Moving on to varsity. Varsity's kind of will be the same group as it was this year. I believe what you had 2 sophomores, so of course they'll be on varsity. So mostly a junior led team next year. Like Emma Burris, Aubrey Kegley, Chloe Salyer, Ellie Snodgrass, Bailey Nutter, Channing Waldie. Just kind of a junior a team, still a young team. But where do you see them next year in terms of improvement? Do you think that they will repeat the success that Northwood Volleyball has kind of had in years prior?
Yeah, for sure. Next year, it was kind of the first year for everybody being able to play together at a varsity level. So come next year, the girls will do great things. I have no doubt in my mind. They will go far.
Connor, you got anything?
I do not, Cannon.
Anything else you want to say, Taylor?
No.
All right, well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Moving on to basketball, we're here with Adler Little, senior for the varsity basketball team.
What's up?
And we'll speak, like I said, doing what we did with other sports, previewing this year, reviewing last year. so on and so forth. So Adler, can we the schedule real quick? Yeah, looking at this, a couple new teams on the schedule this year. Of course, the benefit game this Friday against Bland County. The next time we'll be on this podcast, that will be over and done. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. But added Cornerstone Christian Academy, Appalachian Christian Team Sports. That's a new one, and I believe we were talking about this earlier that they play their games in a church.
They do.
So we'll see how that one is. Added Thomas Walker and brung back Council, which I have not played since my freshman year. Other than that, you have the Hogo play, and of course Castlewood we've played for the past couple of years. Senior night will be February 10th against Patrick Henry at home. And then the Hogo Higgy District Tournament to be decided. So looking back on last year, Adler made region for the first time in 4 years. Had a pretty good season. If you compare that season to the 2 seasons prior, I think we had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on last season?
It was definitely a turnaround after going like 7-15. So I thought it was a pretty good year, something to build off of.
Yeah. Connor, you're at all the games, taking pictures. What did you see last year?
I think that the team played great. They're losing a couple of key pieces to the team, though. But I think they'll be all right, bouncing back. They made region for the first time. That's a good trait to add,
Yeah. Last year, lost to East Side in the first round of region playoffs. Got sent home earlier than we wanted to, but that'll happen. Beat Roar Retreat twice. Ended up losing to Holston twice, which I think that's the first time that's happened in a while. Since like 2020, I think. I think Holston had that. What was that one? Was that one?
Nick
kid that was
Delatos.
Nick Delatos.
Yeah.
What y'all know about him? Nick Delatos. He's yamming that thing. But that's the first time we lost to Holston twice in the regular season since 2020 with his team. Ended up beating them in the Hogo Higgy District. I was at the consolation game, I believe. Yeah, ended up being third in the district, getting to move on to region. Swept Roar Retreat all 3 times we played them. Swept Honeacre. Ended up losing to PH and Chilhowie twice. PH, I think, was the state semifinals they made it to. Ended up losing to George Wythe, who's a heck of a ball team.
Yeah.
Ended up winning state by quite a big margin. Chilhowie made state playoffs, Elite 8. Second year in a row they've done that. But moving on to next year, the district has kind of seen some losses in terms of PH losing the Hogo Higgy District Player of the Year last year in Cole Wood. Chilhowie losing members like the Will Goodwin, who's first team all district, I believe first team all region as well. Rylan Williams, Noah Hill, a couple other key pieces of that team. So the district as a whole is kind of getting weaker, and I feel like we're getting stronger. What do you think about this upcoming year, and especially district play?
I feel like it's definitely balanced out a lot. The games we did well in last year, I feel like we're gonna keep that at the same pace. But I also think we're gonna better compete with the guys that we lost to last year twice.
Yeah, a lot of the games we ended up losing were not. At some point in time, they were close. I think both the PH games are kind of the only district game that really by halftime it was over with. The Chilhowie games, I believe, at Chilhowie I think we were only down by 1 or we were up by 1. It was like 16-18 at half.
Yeah.
They ended up. The back cuts is what killed us that second
Yeah.
half of the game in turnovers. But Connor, what do you see? What do you think about this upcoming season and what you saw going to all the district games last year and all that?
Well, as y'all were saying, the district itself has lost a lot of talent, so I'd say it's kind of a down year this year, but it makes everything more balanced, I'd say, like Adler was saying. So we'll have a better chance to compete with teams that kind of crushed us last year. And I say we'll play good ball this year, A lot of good players,
Yeah, I agree. These non-district games, of course, they still mean something, but they don't hold as much weight as these these district games do. Marion, kind of a county rival, but other than that, these are just kind of teams from, you know, uh, uh,
Who knows where?
around the area.
Yeah.
Maybe not, maybe not that close
No.
around us, but like Thomas Walker, I think that's a 2-3 hour drive. Castlewood's always a trek, and count. If you've never been to Council,
It's a rough one.
you are in the middle of nowhere. If you need to get gas,
You ain't getting
you
it.
ain't getting. You better
Yeah.
keep a can in the back of your car. I think the JV team goes to Hurley this year. Same thing. Of course, Hurley and Council is still going to be a school. They're not consolidating with Southern Gap, but their athletic program is going to be playing with Southern Gap. Same with, of course, Hurley. The JV team and the girls team gets to play Hurley.
A lot of rough rides this year.
What a
Yeah.
a lot
To
of
the away
traveling this
games.
year, putting mileage on the van
Oh yeah.
and the buses. But yeah, like it's cool for the JV to be able to go over to Hurley, especially since this is their last year, being a school, much less a basketball team. So yeah, a lot of away games that are pretty far. A lot of traveling that the parents are going to be doing this year. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for basketball. Connor, you have anything else to say?
Do not, Ken.
You, Adler?
No.
Well, thank you for coming on, and
Thank you for being here, Adler.
Thank y'all.
all right. So moving on to wrestling, we were here with Dominick Haynes. Dominick, last year you were a sophomore, I think, right? Yeah. This year you're a junior, class of 27, right?
Yep.
Yep. So last year, just to go over what he did last year, he wrestled at 157. He was third in Region 1D, seventh in the state for his weight class. So making state for wrestling, a pretty big deal. 157. I don't know much about wrestling. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do. Is 157 kind of a rougher class to be in? or-
It's just a bunch of kids are strong and fast at the same time. They have a bunch of muscle. Pretty stout.
Yeah. But la- this has always been something about wrestling that I can never do. Is the cutting, the weight cutting, the hydration, and I mean it's one of the most kind of strict sport. I mean, no other sport besides wrestling do you have to be a certain weight. That's kind of ridiculous. How do you maintain your weight and your hydration with also like not getting too heavy?
You just gotta cut out on sugar. Like, just don't drink as much. Like, just try to drink water. Don't eat. Try to eat more protein, carbs. And just you try to cut more than what you eat. So like burn more than what you eat. So that's what I do. We practice for like 2 hours. I probably lose 3 or 4 pounds of practice.
And of course, I don't think our wrestling room has AC, does it?
No, we have the heat on.
It is
Oh,
hot
yeah,
in there
I
all the time when I go in there.
I think I've been in there one time in my whole entire life, and I took the hoodie off. I'll say that.
That's something I couldn't do with all the weight cut and everything. I couldn't give
Oh
up
yeah,
stuff that I
dude.
love to eat.
I couldn't either. Just drink. Did you have to drink water all day?
I can drink water.
I mean, I could too, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the hydration test, you have to what? Like you have to like pee, and they have to. What do they have to do for the hydration test? On.
You have to pee into a cup, and they test if you're hydrated. Then they test your weight. Then they test your body fat, and then they percentage of how much you can lose per day.
That's too much
So
for
you
me.
can't lose too much weight in one day.
No, I'm
My
only
goodness.
allowed to lose like 0.3 pounds a day right now.
What in
That-
the world?
that's
That's
a lot.
ridiculous.
That's a lot to like
That-
stay online with, you know?
0.3 pounds a day. Imagine you
Yes.
have to drop 5. So dropping 5 pounds would take what, 15 days?
Yeah.
My
That's
goodness. So you better start cutting weight when you can if you got a match coming up.
Actually. So well, going into this year from last year, what is your expectations this year? The two people that finished above you in Region 1D are now graduated. What's your expectations? What do you think's gonna what do you think you're gonna do this year?
I think it'll be more tough than it was last year because Grundy, they had a very, very good wrestler that was a dog.
Oh,
He ain't there, so now I think more people will go to that weight class. So it'll just be more people, tougher. It might change a lot, but we'll just see. There's a couple kids that I'm watching to see where they go. So.
Grundy, kind of a historical wrestling school. Uh, Many countless wrestlers went there
Oh,
and
yeah.
had success, state championships, D1 offers, so on and so forth.
It's kind of
Uh,
sad that they're
This will
closing
be their,
down.
yeah,
though.
that's what I was about to mention. This will be Grundy's last year wrestling as well, of course, as well as Hurley and Twin Valley. So kind of a chip on these Grundy guys' shoulder, the Golden Wave shoulders, a team, a school that has already been great at wrestling historically,
But
and now you bring in the fact that it's their last year ever wrestling for that G, then
it's a good thing for other schools, though. You ain't got to worry about them anymore.
yeah, they're gonna be up
A
and
good thing
up
for these
into
1A
a
schools.
yeah. So uh, the county meet now if you wrestle against somebody in a 2A, does that
That is not
it doesn't affect anything,
It
does it?
doesn't. I mean, not really. It affects your record, you could say.
Yeah.
How does the point system work, though?
Yeah, that's a good
All
question.
right, so it just now changed. It's 3 points a
Oh.
takedown. And every second you have them on their back, it's like 1 second it's 1 point, 3 points, 3 points, and it stop at 4 points. So after 4 points, you don't go no more. And then you get 1 point for getting away, if they take you down. 2 points for a reversal if they take you down and you get reverse and get on top. And then you got
This is a lot to
stall.
comprehend.
You got
Yeah.
stalling if you're not trying to engage. There's a bunch of different points.
I talked to my buddy Garrett Moore from Marion. He wrestles, and he tried to explain wrestling to me, and I could not wrap my head around it. I could not get it.
This
I'd
ain't
hate
nothing like WWE.
no, no, not at all. I'm used to Shawn Michaels with the Sweet Chin Music, not 4 points for 4 seconds on the back.
I mean,
But,
I'm used to that fake wrestling,
Yeah, I'm used to or the UFC, John Jones
yeah.
out there. But yeah, thank you. That'll wrap it up for wrestling. Thank you, Dom, for coming on. Any last thoughts from you or Connor?
I ain't got nothing.
Anything you want to say, Dom?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for being here, Dom.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps it up for this kind of extended episode of Inside the Den. Longer episode today, covered all fall sports, went over that, as well as being able to kind of cover up the or cover.
A lot of
Excuse me. As long as well, being able to kind of give a preview of the upcoming winter sports season. A lot of great guests. Again, thank you to Channing, Taylor, Adler, Dominick, and Brett. Being able to take some time out of their day and come with me and Connor and just sit here and listen to us yap pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But that'll be it for us. Connor, anything you want to say?
Like you said, thank you to all the guests. And I want to say a big thank you to Dom for teaching us about wrestling because we didn't know nothing.
We didn't know a thing. Yeah, I thought you'd go out there and RKO somebody, but I guess not. Like we said, big thank you to everybody. Big thank you to everybody who sets up our equipment behind the scenes. And that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank y'all.